passion, the art of attraction between beings, emotional, physical, sexual, sensual, intellectual attraction. Spiritual attraction between beings is all a matter of polarity. Polarity equals passion. Passion equals polarity. Now, take your two hands, go like this. Okay, this one, let's say we have two magnets, and let's say this side here is south. We know obviously it'll have a north side too, right? And this side, I'm going to, so imagine you've got two magnets like this. So this is the south side, the inside of your hand. Now you got another magnet on this side. Make that the south side. What happens if they're both sides south sides? Show me. Right? More distance. After a while it's like over here, right? It's sort of neutral. But as you try to push them together, two souths, you're going to get to this place where it's like bouncing. And ultimately if you push too hard, exactly. In the same way, now let's make this south and this side north. Neutral sort of out in the distance. As you get closer, there's more of an attraction. What happens is, if you keep those two magnets stuck for a while, keep them like this. Okay, who remembers Magnetism 101? If you keep magnets together for a long time, what happens to the magnetic attraction? It diminishes, and ultimately it neutralizes. So any partnering, any attraction, where even if you have strong opposite poles, you stay too close together for too long, it's physics. You will neutralize one another. The problem is people take this personally, thinking it's something about me, when it's just about the dynamic of your proximity. That's right. Now, you take north and north. Now you're going to have, to a certain degree that's there, you'll feel it, and then you'll feel a bit of repulsion, and then if you try to press it, it's not going to happen. Now let's switch the terms from masculine or north-south to masculine-feminine. Let's call north masculine. Let's call feminine the south pole. The masculine within all of us, each and every one of us, we all have masculine. No one is masculine and no one is feminine. We all have masculine within us. Masculine, in the yogic term, would be called Shiva or Shiv. In the Buddhist terms, it would be called free awareness, or the space or the beingness of awareness. Unfettered consciousness. The witness in this moment. The one who's present right now. The term masculine has a lot of charges associated with it, so does feminine, but it has a lot of ideas from many societies. And I want you to untangle those for a moment and look at it from this perspective, okay? And how we're utilizing this language, in this language of it. So the masculine represents unchanging consciousness. It's the part in ourselves that steps up for us to lead the event. Suzanne and I, we have to be in our masculine. We have to rise above, see what's going on, feel all the energies, what's going on with each one of you, as a group, as an individual, and then direct that energy. That energy of direction and seeing from a vantage point and then directing is the masculine within us all. Some of us do that naturally, by birth, by our natural disposition. You're definitely masculine. It's that capacity that can witness, can look, can feel, can observe. And then it says, here's the possibility of route A, B, C. What does logic tell us? What does intuition tell us? What does history tell us? Okay, B sounds like the best move. We're going to go B, route B. We're going to go that direction. Who's very good at that? Naturally. Okay? So that means your masculine is either naturally there and or you've cultivated it. If it's not natural, can you cultivate it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, you can cultivate it. And the demands of everyday life, especially in a Western world, especially in a modern world, we have to be able to go somewhere and do things. Scheduling all the things that you have to do with your children, taking them to this place, that place, all the things that we have to do with our work life. You know, going in the morning, what do we do? Okay, I got to get groceries, we got to get food, we got to pay the bills, we got to take care of all the logistics, all the doings of life. That capacity to do that is masculine. The more clear you are with it, the more you're able to stand back and be decisive without vacillation. The more obscured that capacity is due to tensions, due to, let's say for example, you're a young lad and you're asserting your direction, like my son is now as a teenage boy. Hey, I want to do this. I don't want to do what you're doing as parents. I want to do this. If we keep squashing his decision, somewhere along the line he'll have an imprint of going and following my direction is non-positive. Or he never actually will get the opportunity to cultivate that, so it'll be stunted right from a youthful age. Uncultivated. That'll cause him problems later in life of not asserting his direction, not feeling in his power, not having that sexual claim energy, and all of that.
Hey, and you know what? Something that I haven't mentioned before, but also women. You know, I used to climb trees. I loved climbing trees. I loved building forts. I loved making things happen. I loved making things. I loved creating things like out of my mind. I loved doing those types of things. And as a young girl, this was not encouraged. This was like, you know, I mean, you want the doll. These are the dolls over here, and you know, the sparkle stuff over here. And that was great because a big part of me loved that as well. But what about the climbing of the trees? What about racing ahead of the boys? What about doing all of, you know, the things that I just naturally, I loved tools and building things, and, you know, and again, it's not whether you're a man or a woman, it's that masculine or that feminine essence that you've got, that is it cultivated or not, and has society or your family or whatever, has that changed who you are?
It definitely influences you, right? Okay, those of us and all of us, that masculine side within us is seeking more freedom. The masculine within us is seeking more freedom. Now, what type of things do we want more freedom with? Give me an idea. As a
Time.
Time. Money.
Excitement.
Excitement.
Mobility.
Mobility. To do what you want, when you want to do it. How you want to do it.
Where you want to do it.
Where you want to do it.
With who you want to do it.
Who you want to do it with.
Freedom from the tyranny of mind, Chad.
Freedom from the tyranny of mind.
Yeah.
In the big way, freedom from war and freedom from weirdness happening in the political worlds. And so there's macro desires for freedom, worldwide. There's societal, there's city-wise, and then there's our own individual desire for more freedom. When you're feeling, I would like to have more freedom than you are having now, you'll have this feeling of your life is constrained in some way. Physically, mentally, emotionally, intellectually, spiritually, financially, politically. All wars, most wars are fought for the sake of freedom. You don't see too many women going to war who have more of a feminine essence. That comes more from the masculine side. The paradox is because we haven't recognized and identified ourselves as freedom itself, we seek it through superficial means. We seek it through temporary, fleeting means. Pornography, unconscious masturbation, Drinking, oh, I just zone out. Sports, I'll just zone out. There's nothing wrong with any of that. It's just you're seeking a freedom. If you look, but by first having constraint and then the breakthrough of freedom. So sports, as an example, it's like there's a buildup of tension, and then when the person, you know, passes or the ball goes through or you move beyond that obstacle line, then there's this great release into freedom. And those, you know, in that moment, those of you who enjoy that type of sport, it's like, whoa, it's like an orgasm. It's like constraining of energy, right? Restricting it, boom, and then breaking open into freedom.
Especially if you're watching sports. You're watching sports for the excitement of, oh, okay, come on, are they going to do it? Are they going to do it? Damn! You know? And it's that, because you're not rested in the freedom that you are.
So is that why when the sports teams, like when it goes the other way, when they lose, there's this giant collapse or anger or
yes.
a huge amount of constraint, like something
exactly.
negative.
Because the freedom hasn't been, because the cultivation, the constraint is there, but they haven't broken into freedom.
Oh, so there's a frustration.
Exactly.